Hi everyone, this is Tony from iFormBuilder, and today I'd like to take some time and walk you through the two latest features that were released last week as part of our 8.3 server upgrade. The first one I'd like to show you is a new feature which we call Stored Filters, and Stored Filters is going to be available on the main data page when you log into the web application. Let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to select this form called Lead Parent and then click on the Stored Filters icon in the top left here. The page that loads actually will show me all of the filters that I've saved already for this form, and I have the ability to either use the existing filter that I've created, I could modify that filter, or even create a new one. For this video, we're just going to go ahead and jump in and edit this filter, just so you can see what I've done. The first thing is to provide a meaningful description in the name. So in this case, I'm actually looking for all men that have a last name containing the text RU. And so when I scroll down, you're going to see that there's a rules section here, and this has allowed me to basically say I only want all the records where the gender has a value of male. And I could add additional rules if I like to and pick the fields that I want to filter on. For this example, that's not important, so we'll just go ahead and delete that extra one. If you scroll down, you'll actually see that this is a parent-child structure, and when you click on this lead details checkmark, which is the subform, it will expand all of the fields within the subform that you can then also select to return in your query, and you can apply rules at the subform level as well. So you can see I've applied a rule for last name, and it's going to find any record that has the text RU. Now keep in mind these rules are all combined together, so I again am looking for records that have a value of male. This is done at the parent, and then last name that has the text RU, and this is at the child. If we scroll down a little further, you can see that I've also included this column called lead qualified. I have not set any rules on it, but I've included this field because I want to actually put a value in here when we do our edits. I've also taken the opportunity to basically filter, or sort the data that I'm getting back by the age, and I set this up to be descending and given it the first priority. If I had other filters or ways I wanted to sort the data, I could actually apply other filters and then basically say that the lead qualified has second priority, and we're going to sort it in ascending order. So now that we've seen how the stored filters page works, let's go ahead and save our filter here and jump into the next feature, which is the table edit view. So after you've created or edited your filter, you'll be returned to this page, and you can then select that filter to basically load what we call a table edit view. And this view is designed for editing your data and basically cleaning things up, but doing so in a refined fashion without jumping through every single form directly. So do your parent cleanup, then your child cleanup. This allows us to basically pull in all the fields that we need to see in order to do our cleanup, or in this case, mark leads as qualified, and then get back to work. So this interface here is pretty simple. It looks and feels just like Excel. I can click inside of these fields and just basically give a value of yes, and you'll notice that the box turns orange and then blue, or yellow then blue. So the yellow indicates that an edit has been made, not yet saved. Blue is saving, and then white will basically return when the change has been made. So I can come down here and say that these two leads are qualified, this one is not. And you'll notice that while I'm making edits actively, the application will not try to actually save anything. And so just to give you an idea, if I type in yes, and then move up and type in no, and then type in no, and then yes, and then yes, you can see that actually it only is going to save when I've stopped working for a little bit. The middle one actually changed right away because it wasn't an update in value. So that gives you a good idea of how the table edit view works. And let me just go back and fix this because these two are lead qualified while this one is not. So from here, I can also search with inside of this grid, assuming I had a lot more data and a lot more columns to work with. So I can actually do a find, and I can find a value that contains, and we'll look for no. Now when I do this action, you'll notice that everything that matches in my find criteria now has this check mark indicated next to it. So that's a quick and high-level overview of the table edit view. To get back to our stored filtered list, you can simply click on this back button here. And what I'll do next is actually show you how else this record filter list can be used. So this column here, which we call filter grammar, is actually building the grammar that can be used with the latest version of our API. And so what we can do is actually highlight, oh, sorry, we can highlight this row here and then click on the copy grammar button. And what this allows us to do is to basically use this with any other dashboarding or visualization tool, or even another system to basically extract the data that matches the query that we just defined. So seeing things is usually more powerful. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to click on the list view here and just modify this. So we have API v60 profiles 10969. Oops, typo. And then the grammar is effectively what you'll put in the fields equal to parameter. So from here, we say we want the records, and we're going to define that we want these fields. And so this is where I paste in the grammar. So fields equal to this particular field where the value is m, and basically all these other things that run on here that determine our filter. The only other thing that I need to do is get a valid access token to throw into this request. So let's just do that quickly. So now that I have my access token, I can just come in here and drop my access token in. And you'll see that this is the same data set that we returned in our table edit view, just coming back in the JSON format from our API. So I hope that's helpful and gives you a high-level overview of the two new features that we released. And should you have any questions, feel free to contact our help desk or reach out to us on chat. Thanks and have a great week.